Welcome everyone to the God Be Known podcast. We are continuing a conversation with Michael and Ntwali on episode 5. We talked about chasing your dreams. We are continuing that conversation, and this is part 2 of Dream Chasers. Enjoy the episode, and I hope you get something out of it. What amazed me about that documentary, and I'm sure you guys could definitely agree to this, is how many times he got rejected. And the man believed so much in himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That the rejection from the studios, the other producers, other rappers did not affect him.
Yeah.
He just he believed in him. Like other people didn't, but like God did, like the type of thing. It's like the man, I was shocked. I was like, he got rejected. He got rejected time and time again.
And you know what's crazy? I was gonna say too, like back to that line about like not everyone liking your stuff, like that was just like, if you in grand scheme of things, that was maybe like 100 people that like didn't rock with the stuff, but the album that he was trying to present to them sold over 3-point-something million albums, so it's like it wasn't for them, but it was for 3-point-something million people,
Wow.
And it's still impacting the world today. Like that college dropout, like inspired.
Yeah, you can't deny the impact of that album.
Right.
Like no matter how much you hate Kanye.
Yeah.
You can't deny the impact that this man has had.
You can't.
Exactly.
You can't for sure. Like
there'd be no J. Cole's or Kendrick's or even Drake's, because they all testify to how much that man has shaped them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just have faith, like you said, and like work in the face of rejection, and like we could learn a lot about rejection through that documentary too, because
absolutely
every single person, like he played them all falls down, and that lady didn't bat an eye.
Yeah.
She's like, I gotta go to my next meeting, like, and
it's crazy.
And that goes to show, like, your people, when you get to your people, like, rest assured that they'll carry you, and you stick to God and you stick to your craft and have unwavering faith.
Wow,
it's undeniable, and I'm sure Michael has faced like doubt, or even people saying, "Oh, it's not my hat," but like you said, every second person has got the D&D something.
Bro, it was crazy. Like I told you this, Mikey, but like a couple months ago, I was in Edmonton and we're walking in downtown. It was like 1 a.m. And it was unfortunate. Like she was one of the less fortunate, and she really didn't have much on her, except for Michael's Dreams Never Die hat. Like, I kid you not, bro. Like, that's when I knew. I was like, yo, this man is like, it's crazy. Like, she just had it on. And I was like, how in the world would she get it? Where did she get it? Like, I don't know how she did, but it just, like, what you guys are saying right now, I think is like so profound, man, because what a lot of people don't know, and it's something we've been reiterating time and time again throughout this podcast, is how much preparation, work, and doubt you guys had to overcome to continuously progress towards making your dreams come to life. And I think we deal with a generation that has really low self-esteem. They don't have as much confidence in God. They don't have as much confidence in themselves. And as a result of that, they fear, rejection. They fear the failure. And I love what you said, Ntwali. Like the 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 impact of regret is greater than the impact of actually stepping out in faith and doing something that you are passionate about and something that you love, with the guarantee that it could fail.
Yeah.
But at least you did it. At least you stepped out. At least you pursued your dreams. And, when you talk about people in your corner, I would love to make that a perfect segue into people like your family. How much of a role did they play in your guys' life in seeing your dreams come to life? Because there are maybe people out there, and I want you to speak to these people as well, the people that I'm talking about that are maybe struggling with their parents believing in their dream, right? Like, how big of a role did your parents play in seeing your dreams come to life? And can you speak to the people that have parents that maybe don't believe in their dream? How can they overcome that?
In all honesty, is they're not gonna support it right away. Like, to be honest, you gotta give them something for them to support. As in, like, you gotta results speak. To my fellow like immigrant households, your parents are probably most likely gonna be like education first route. That's what I met resistance initially. I was telling my parents I wanted to pursue music, and they'd always be like, "You gotta get your degree first." And the way I heard it, like the way I perceived it, not even heard it, the way I perceived it was, "Oh, you don't believe in my dream? I need to get a degree." But they were saying, your degree is gonna help you land a good job that will help you as a vehicle to get to your dreams by sustaining yourself. But it took took me almost my entire university career and my whole degree for me
to understand that.
Yeah. And Michael can tell you himself. He's seen those matches. He's seen he's seen those moments. But I would say halfway through my degree, when I was starting to sell out shows and stuff in the city, my parents came to one of them, and they were in awe in the sense, because they're like, "Oh, okay, he's making some kind of money from it, people are coming to see him. He's got a support system in the city." So even though it's not where I want to be, I was very grateful for them to see that. But they also can see the fact that I'm passionate about this, and it's not just, "Hey mom, I'm making music in the basement" or something. People are coming out, paying their hard-earned money to see me, and things of that nature. So I would say try and understand where your parents are coming from. If they're not supportive at first, it's not that they're rejecting you, or it's not that they don't love you. It's that they want the best for you, and in their eyes, it may not be your passion until your passion is somewhat tangible, more tangible. They can see it more.
Until they see the fruit of it. Exactly. Until they actually, and that will kind of lead them to believing in what you have and what you're passionate about.
And once they give you that support, it's undivided. They'll write out for you once they see it.
Yeah, that's good. Mikey, earlier you mentioned how big it was for your parents to support you guys. Why was it so big for them to support you? And then I want you to speak a little bit on, how, people could really overcome their parents maybe not supporting their dream.
Man, yeah, it's big. It's very big. It's very big because it's it's hard to go against the grain, right? In a family sense, as in there's one route that your parents only see you going, right? And it's but you want to shift and create your own route, or create a route that you are passionate about. And it's as a young man, or 20, was 2019, like 19, 20, around that age. It's like, do you want to have that constant talk with your parents where it's like back and forth? They don't want you to do this. They don't want you to do that. But it's like, what I realize is that what parents like the most is a hardworking child. I think that's what they appreciate the most. A hardworking son or daughter who's consistent, who, can, because like they'll hear you say, okay, yeah, I want to do this, but then little do you know they're watching you. Like people think like other people watching you, like nah, your parents are watching.
They're watching you.
They know your every move. They have the intuition. And if you hide it, at the end of the day, like it always come to reveal itself, right? So it's like they're watching you, and they're watching you because they love you. So, and what I'm saying is just show them how bad you want it. Show them why you want it. It's not because you're trying to rebel and go against the grain, but it's because no, I love this. I have a genuine passion for this route. So it's like that's one thing they can't hate on a hardworking person, but a hardworking person that's gaining fruit, right? That's gaining, not results. Not only are you gaining results, but like, is your character improving? Are you becoming a better individual? Like, because if it's your passion, like everything should be gaining value, like wisdom, your spiritual self, like, if it's a good. So if it's a good dream, like I'm not saying all dreams are bad, but it's like if it's bringing out good in all things, yourself and others, then it's like they have to tune in. And I feel like for me, it was like I think when I started the brand, they didn't think I would actually put in this much work. You know what I mean? I think they probably thought it was just like just a little side hustle, get some money, a little income, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think what, is constantly shocking them is like, okay, he's actually trying to continue to level up. Every year it's a level up. Every month it's a level up. It's like, I think that's what kind of makes them appreciate it more. It's that, like, you're not trying to be stationary. You're not trying to be stagnant. You want more, and you want more for your family, your loved ones, and people around you. I think that's what sets it apart. It's like you could really show your parents how much you love this passion, this dream, and the results are showing. At the end of the day, like, they're gonna have to appreciate it and be proud of you.
Absolutely.
I remember having a difficult time and speaking to Pastor Sam about the situation, and it's like one thing he said was like, "Yo, don't think your parents aren't proud of you." And I think that was one thing that set it apart here, that set everything apart from being sad or being mad or being down on yourself. I think it's like, that's one thing that shifted the gear, because it's like, then you realize, like, damn, like, they should be proud of me. I'm not gonna lie, like, you really gotta remember, like, like,
things you've done.
Yeah, you gotta just sit down, like, wait, what?
Absolutely.
I'm really out here working, so I think that's what helped me too. Is like, stop being so hard on yourself, and stop like just thinking everything has to go exactly how you envision it. It's like I said, man, like, appreciate all the steps. Like, like, from the jump, I think my thing was saying baby steps, right? Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Parents aren't there right now, but trust me, they'll be there.
They will.
So take that step. So to those kids or to those guys or adults listening to this podcast, I really feel like you have to just show them that grind. It's like even when you're like raising kids, I feel like when you watch a movie or when you're watching like LeVar Ball or stuff like that, he's always telling them, he's like, I'm not gonna force you to do this, right? Like, show me you want to do this. Like, if I gotta force you to get out of bed and make you go practice, like, this isn't for you, right?
Wow.
And it's like, I feel like parents have that approach. It's like, okay, let me step back and see how bad he wants it or how bad she wants it.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that point, when you don't have to force it on them, your parents just sit there and pray for the best and actually help you in any shape or form.
That's really good.
Yeah. But I also think too is like being honest with them as well. You know, don't cheat the grind.
Yeah.
Like don't cheat the grind, don't cheat the hustle. Like just and don't cheat your success. Like if you're not doing as good as you thought you were while you're chasing your dreams, like be open with them, you know, like don't try to hide it and be like, KK, I'm doing bad, but like I'm gonna grind it on and you'll see it. So, you know, like if this is something you believe in, like show them the good, the ugly, and you know, so they
be honest, right?
Be honest, like be open to them. And yeah, it might be hard. I know we're in a different time now. Like we were talking to like our pops. We were like, yo, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't be like this, you know. But he's like, but with age, you just learn to, you know, accept things. And I feel like one of the things is just being open and being able to have conversations with your immigrant parents. It's like you're getting too grown to just shy away from it, right?
That's
it's
really
like,
good.
You gotta open up, man. You gotta like talk about the things you're afraid of talking to. You know, we can't always call Pastor Sam and like we can't always call Sam Teka to save the day. You know, like you know, he has his own thoughts. He has his own things to deal with as well. So sometimes you gotta just have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
Be open.
Yes.
You know, but and Wally, like he'll like definitely hold me accountable in that too. Like things aren't going well or whatever. Like you know, talk about it. Like see, like for me, like I like to just hold things. You know. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm going through it, you're not
muted.
Yeah, you just
She's muted.
I'm not gonna really like.
Quiet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it until like I feel like it's time. But I'm getting better at that because it's just like
that's good.
It's uncomfortability, right? You gotta just you gotta hug it. You gotta hug it. You gotta hug it and you gotta love it, man.
Yeah.
But, you gotta hug it and you gotta love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps though. It helps knowing that like you have each other's corners, you know, like I've been in Michael's shoes, you know, when he's going through those moments, and I showed him, I'm like, yo, this is what happened in my case, you know, and I told him, I'm like, they at the end of the day, it might sound like they're not appreciating your dreams, but it's like they want the best for you, even if it's not the way you envision what's best for you, you know, like they still want your best interest. But even if it's not converting into how you see it, they still, you know, like you're their children, you know, you're their seed. They want to see you flourish in life.
Yeah.
But it may not be the same way you see it. So that's what I try to explain to Mikey and to myself sometimes, because you know we still be in those moments. But it's honestly they get to see my parents shift their thinking with me, but also with Michael. It's been a blessing, and it's been beautiful to see that they're trusting us more, you know, like one of the things that my dad said to me not too long ago, he's like, I'm not worried about you anymore.
Wow.
And, you know, and I just like, to me, Sam, that's like the ultimate compliment coming from him, because you know, he's always cracking down. He's like, get serious. You know, but to hear those words is really inspiring. But to also see that the level of trust they have in us is just growing is a beautiful thing too.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and that has taken, you know, years, as you guys have mentioned, to work, to be consistent, to be open, to be honest, and it wasn't overnight. You know, it was through the course of time. You know, and you know, for people out there that are listening or watching this, you know, just because one conversation didn't go well, it doesn't mean you stop trying to, you know, make amends and make things better with your relationship with your parents, especially in terms of when it comes to, you know, the dreams that people have. I think hands down, I really, really meant it in the introduction for this podcast of what I think about you guys. I mean, man, just talking to you guys and watching your guys' life unfold and being part of that process, just being like a cheerleader, on the sideline is probably one of my most greatest privileges ever, because you guys are just the ideal of a humble and success, however people want to define success. But I just love the fact that you guys define it as having impact or making something out of nothing, or just being passionate. These are measurements, and when I say you guys are going to go far, I really do mean that. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I have so much belief in you guys, and seeing, like, you guys are not just talking too. I see the hard work. I see the consistency. Like, I also know the times of, like, Ntwali would maybe call me, or like I would call him on Monday or Tuesday. He'd be like, yo, man, like, I'm not gonna lie, last week was a struggle. And he would say, like, but I'm coming back up, God did this and all that stuff. And then, chat with Michael, and just to hear the fact that there have been obstacles, but you overcame them. Like, you guys are not just talking, like, you guys are living this out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, I just, like, people need to know this. And that's why I have you guys on the podcast, because my whole podcast is about knowing God and letting him be known. People need to see the beauty of what Christ is doing in your guys' life. And that ultimately will communicate to really, know this God that we serve, know this God that we worship, and ultimately let him be known in the world, that we live in. I have one last question before we wrap up. And I would love for you guys to get as practical as possible, okay? What are some steps? And I know we kind of talked about it throughout this conversation, but just to kind of, wrap the gift here. What are some practical steps that people could take in order to chase their dreams? What are some few steps? And I want you to talk to the lowest common denominator, to the person that just feels like they have nothing going for them at all. Like, they're at the low of lows, or maybe they have no clue at all on what to do. What are the few steps that you could give that person towards chasing their dreams?
I would ask them two questions. And the first would be, what is one thing in your life that you would do for free? Like,
good question.
What is that thing, And based on what they tell me, I would say 99%, like, that's probably their passion. And I would say that's what the world can benefit the most from them if they pursue that. And I would say just start. Like, you don't have to be Mozart if you're a piano. You don't have to be a composer like Mozart from the beginning if that's what you want to do. Just start. There's magic in being a beginner. Because you there's like, your potential's infinite. Like, you could be one of the greatest, but you won't know you are one of the greatest until you start.
Facts. Wow.
So and if you always delay it, like, I remember there's times where like, I would delay it myself, like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And honestly, that mentality isn't just in your craft or the thing that you want to pursue. It comes into your deadlines for your assignments, or it comes into every part of your life, So it's like, even your bills, it's like, okay, I could do it tomorrow. It's like that mindset, of like, I have till tomorrow. It gives you like that leisure. Okay, I have time to relax. But it's like,
wow,
if you put yourself on a deadline, like, you're most likely going to hit, and you're going to, be more consistent.
That's good.
So, yeah, don't give yourself a way out, and just start. Like, free yourself of judgment. Like, don't judge yourself, because it's like, hey, like, this is me right now. But it's like, like think of your future self, think of
Wow.
Think of that person, and honestly track your progress, because that's also going to inspire you too.
Absolutely.
So that's what I would tell them. Those are the practical things that I would say help me find this craft, but also help me stay in this craft, as in like,
yeah,
always chase, never be comfortable, never be satisfied. And honestly, don't be ashamed of being honest and vulnerable. Like, I've had so many conversations with Michael and my other siblings about like how much I love this craft and how can I improve. Being a student.
Wow.
Like, humble yourself to know that you're not perfect.
Yes.
And then you got room to grow.
Absolutely.
I'll say that's one of the most valuable lessons I've learned in this craft, but also in life.
Wow.
Knowing that you're always growing, you're always willing to learn.
Yes. Absolutely. That's good stuff, Ntwali. Thank you, man.
Yeah. That's fire.
That's true.
Fire. Yeah.
What would you say, Mikey?
Man, I feel like you gotta just ask yourself what keeps you young. What keeps you like childlike? Like what, because like if you think about it, like a lot of us, like what peace, most of us, like a lot of the things that keep us at peace are like, old stuff that we used to do when we were young, or like, memories of young at a young age, like what we used to be so passionate about, what brought us so much joy. What were the things that we would do as kids that would just, make us so happy, and I'd say, like, think about that. Like, really think about that and ask yourself, like, what brings you the most joy? What is it helping others? A lot of people's dreams are helping others, but what does that look like? Like, what does that look like for you? And because, like, I think everyone should be able to create, everybody should be able to create.
Wow.
We're all creative in our own ways. It could be for fashion, could be for anything, could be for podcasts and music and, home design, or, creating little objects. Like, everybody has a bit of creativity in their hearts. It's just, what does it look like for you? What will bring you the most joy? And I guess to be practical is one, like asking yourself that, but also just, keeping. I feel like the best thing also is just having the right people around you as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I feel like if you're around a good group of people, they should bring out your passion. They should bring out what you want to do. If they're excelling, it's like, damn, like I gotta find my lane and excel too. Like I gotta create, I gotta be something that I can be proud of. That and it doesn't have to be big. I'm realizing like people focus too much on the, sucks to say, but the clout and the material stuff. And it's like yes, we say dream big, but I hate to say it, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. We can't sit here and be like, yeah, everyone's gonna be Kobe Bryant, or everyone's gonna be. It's like, no, it's like, what brings you joy?
Exactly.
So it's like, you don't have to obtain the biggest of the biggest, right? It's just, remain humble, as he says, and figure out your lane, and that's just through trial and error. Like, just shoot your shot. Like, we all have something that we love. Absolutely. We all do. If it's creating games, website design, like there's just too many things out here for us to limit ourselves. And other people can dabble into two things: writing a novel or creating stories. It's just like, Kobe won an Emmy award. Like, what? Or Golden Globe, I think. Sorry. Yeah. The Golden Globe award, right? And it's like, well, how? But it's, besides from basketball, he found something else that he was passionate about, and that was storytelling.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like you just have to tap into, what you love the most, and a lot of people is community. You know, helping others through like the youth.
Yeah.
You know, running a team. Like I love seeing like coaches who are helping like young kids. It's like
Yeah.
that young kid was helped by this coach and it became this person, right? It's like
Correct. Yeah.
your impact could be so small that can create
Yes.
something so big.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's like turning nothing to something could be anything. Like
Yeah. Can I
really,
just say something about what you just said right now, and I'll let you continue? You know, talking about impact, you never know what that one person is going to do.
Exactly.
Like, even if you just impacted that one person, that one person could be the person that impacts billions. Yeah. But because of your passion to just do what you do and love what you do and to follow that dream, even if it doesn't look like, because dream is subjective to everybody. But the question is, what's your passion? What do you love? What brings you joy? And even if it's the kindergarten teacher that really no one sees as living out their dream, they love what they do. They have joy doing it. And because they stewarded it so well, that one kid that they taught in kindergarten became the next Kobe Bryant.
Exactly.
Or the next Kanye West.
Exactly.
So don't underestimate your impact, because you never know, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's just like when people, it kind of goes back to like the comparison thing, right? People begin to steward less when they start to focus on what other people have, you know.
Facts.
It's like don't focus on that person's plate, you know, like work on your own plate. And it's like oh, like I want to, you know, I wish I could live like that person, but it's like, you know, everyone has their time, you know, like you have your time. Opportunities present themselves every single day if you look for it. It's just you got to seize the moment, and you know. But I just feel like we just can't focus on what others have, because then you'll never be happy. Because right now, as I was thinking of what I'm saying, there's so many people that could be like, okay, but what if my life is going bad and I don't have money to start a brand, or I don't have money to start a podcast, I don't have, you know. But it's like there are ways to go around that, you know. There are ways, you know, you could ask for help, you could ask, you know. It's like anything is possible, right? So don't hold yourself, don't create excuses for yourself. And that's the best practical way. It's like don't hold yourself back because you think you can't do it, right? It's like it's so close. And, you know, like you don't have, it doesn't, it's like you won't start off the brand with so much, right? You just start off small and, you know, grow it. You know, be smart with how you steward it, and and ask questions, and you know, get advice, because like there's so many people that could be like, oh, like I don't know, it just won't work. Like you know, you're talking like it's a fairy tale, but it's like, man, in life, sometimes it is, man. Like it doesn't have to be so complicated, right? Like you see it, you touch it, and you obtain it. It's like and you just have to have that faith, right? Absolutely. So it's like don't get mad because I'm trying to make it sound easy. You know, of course it's not easy, but it's like it's doable.
Yes, it's possible.
You know, because like it's very possible. It's just
how foot in front of the other.
Yeah. So yeah, man. All it takes is one shot, right? All it takes is one step. So
yes.
And honestly, like as an observer of Michael's life, you know, like he said, that one hat changed his life, you know. That one friend Sabri told him, yo, like try it one more time. Like you might have tried it so many times, but that last try is what pushes it, like, you know, into new heights. So it's like don't despise small beginnings, like as God was saying, you know. And even like the article that CBC did on the card, like I didn't, honestly, at first when it came out, I was like, okay, you know, like I didn't really think it was gonna do numbers the way it did, but it really generated a lot for me. And it's like you never know, like somebody posted the story because I said ask you shall receive, and I was quoting Matthew 7 verse 7, I believe, in that interview. and somebody said like miracles come in many different forms, and
not
honestly,
just in one way.
Not just in one way, and not even just how you expect it. So when Michael was saying how like you might not have the money for it or something, but it's like you might meet somebody who will give you that, the resources, or who will connect you. It's like you never know what door will be the door that'll open it, or how that door opening will get you there. But But like I think like the whole theme of this dream chasing is like your willingness to try.
Correct.
Because I feel like God gives you all of these things. Like Michael's been the fashion guy in the house. Like I've seen him flip shoes since like grade 9, grade 10. His Odd Future Wolfgang days. Mikey's been fly. And God will give you these things. Like He will give you those things, but it's up to you to have discernment, and it's up to you to capitalize on it, right? And like the talents, right? Like the master gave one talent to somebody, two to the other, and 5 to the other.
Yes.
And the guy who had 5 multiplied them and turned them to 10. The person who had 2 multiplied it to 4. And the person who won buried it because he was scared because the talent represented gold, so he buried his gold. And when the master came and he saw that he buried it, he's like he was upset because he's like, no, I want you to go multiply it. And he gave his talent, his gold, to somebody else, the guy who had multiplied it to 10. So sometimes I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes you see people doing things that you want to do and you kick yourself because it's like, man, I should be doing it. But that's so true, because it's like God gave you that ability, and it's up to you to go and capitalize it.
Yeah, cultivate it.
Or you watch somebody else live out your dream. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So with the talent, you got to put in the work, and you got to go make it happen.
Yeah. Wow. You got something to say, Mikey?
Yeah, I feel like honestly too, it's like, I always say like the work is not finished, right? Like the job is far from done, right? Like I'm so young, and it's like, I'm saying I am proud of the steps that I've been taking, but it's like, the job is far from done, and you have to understand that. It's like it's good to pat yourself on the back, but stay level. Stay level and just stay grounded. Don't ever think that you're the best because there's someone in a lab or working on his shot or praying to God to attain a different level of success, a different level of himself. It's like always strive to be better, right? Because it's like as soon as you let up, someone's coming around the corner, and it's like that's why I always tell people, like, whether it's clothing, especially clothing, I always say like plan for all seasons. Plan for all seasons. Like there will be a rainy day and there will be a sunny day. Plan for each and every one of them. So I just feel like just be yourself, man. Like I remember always thinking like when I started the brand, I'm like, okay, I'm writing a list. Like this person's gonna purchase, this person's gonna lock in. I'm thinking like, these like 100 people are gonna buy it or whatever. It's like, and then when you see that list, it's like maybe like 10, 20 people are that list bought it. It's like, just remember that I feel like the people that are gonna set you further are most of the time people you don't know. And that's where the whole uncomfortable.
I remember when you said this. Yeah.
Bar. That's a bar.
It's facts. I used to see people say that, but it's like when you live it, when you feel that, it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling because it's like, one, you get that mindset out. Like the reality hits where it's like, not everyone is in your corner, right? Not everyone wants to really buy into your dream. So, but someone will. Remember that someone will always buy into your dream.
Yeah.
Whether it's this 10-year-old that's begging his mom to go buy it for him, or a 15-year-old who saves his money working at McDonald's to purchase it, or a 15-year-old who finds your music on TikTok, or it's like someone will listen.
Exactly.
And like you said, if you steward it well, that one person can change your life. That one person can bring more and more fruit. And I think too, one thing I was talking to talking to a couple of younger guys that were trying to start a brand. And I was trying to tell them like man, just the major thing is like represent yourself well, you know.
Wow.
Like,
in what way?
Like,
what do you mean?
Just always carry yourself properly. You know, always carry yourself to a standard, because at the end of the day, like, people will attach you to this, right?
Wow.
You know, it's like when people really say, you know, reputation is big, it's like it's true, right? And it's like, of course don't think too much about what other people are saying, but it's like, don't forget as well, there's a lot of people watching when you want to do great things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's kids watching, you know, so it's like, you know, just carry yourself in a way that, you know, people would want to, you know, be inspired by you. So
that's good.
And like, some people probably be like, well, I don't care what people say about me, but it's like there are people who do watch you and will do what you do. So
not only that, but I think you stifle some opportunities that could be presented based off of how you presented yourself. You know, Ntwali and I remember us talking about this, like, treat everyone nicely. Because you never know.
Exactly.
That one person that you treat in a rude way could be the one person that opens up the door for the opportunity that you need. And it's like, and Michael, it goes to show your point, like, have character, you know, like, really, you know, take care of yourself, you know, treat people with respect and honor, you know. And
it's true. Like, you know, I was watching, like, I forget what coach was saying this, maybe like Coach K or something like that. He was saying, like, he never used to go to, like, the big games, right? Like, he wouldn't go, say if he's recruiting a high school player, like, he's not gonna go to like the best city player, city champion, city champion. He'll go to the worst game.
Wow.
Like, they're playing the worst team, and they're gonna see how that player, like, holds himself. Is he, you know, how is he moving? Like, what kind of character does he have? You know, because that's what matters most when you're trying to, like, you know, steward a team of young kids who are trying to attain a high level of success. It's like, okay, what is their character like?
Wow.
You know. And that's how I feel like, you know, we should go about life, right? It's like, you know, how are you, you know, carrying yourself to people who are you're way better than, you know. So that definitely has how I see life, man. It's like there's so many people who can open doors for you, but also there's so many people who you can open the door for, you know, just by the way you hold yourself.
Wow, guys, this is really good. This was a great conversation. I know I got a lot from it, and if I got something from it, I know other people who are listening or watching got a lot from it too. I appreciate you guys. I'm not just saying this on a public level, but on a private level, both of y'all know I appreciate the both of you. We've you know, when we first met each other, Ntwali was Cactus Club, and Michael brought to my memory that we met at a church conference.
Wow. When I was still in high school.
And you were still in high school. And again, I'm just privileged to be just a cheerleader and, like, really, you know, show the world that you guys are really doing something great. You guys are true, genuine dream chasers, and I admire it big time. So
I would love to say also. I love to say also to the people listening, don't think that this man right here hasn't impacted us. Like, you know, like, he's just as part of my story as much as, you know, like, he played a big role into, like, where my brand is, you know, and all the prayers, all the, you know, the teachings, and And it's like not even on like the, of course, like a bit of the business level, but also just like the life, like like life in general, you know, is bigger than just a brand. It's bigger than just music.
Yes.
You know, that's one thing I could say that
yes.
Sam helped me with. It's like there's so much more to life, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And as much as we want to be the best at what we do, but there's the little things that we need to appreciate.
Yes.
And whether that's like helping someone in the community or giving back to the needy or praying for someone.
Yeah.
You know, those are the things that should also bring us, you know, passion and life. And, you know, because there's so much more to the life, bro. Like, it's bigger than just that brand. So that's one thing that I could say, man. Pastor Sam Sam Teka, man. I'm sure a lot of people could vouch for that, but you know, I'm blessed to have this man in my life as well.
Appreciate you, fam.
Likewise, Sam.
Yeah.
You've definitely been a big impact since we've reconnected, and you know, could attest to a lot of the wisdom and a lot of the ways I approach life has been a big part of just our meetings. And you know, I tell you all the time, you're like a mentor to me, so I appreciate all the wisdom and all the advice and you taking the time to share not only with me but with Michael and various people that you impact. We, you know, just testifying. Sam, thank you so much. It's an honor to be featured on your podcast, and man, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for those kind words. I won't cry now. I'll cry after.
We have to run the introductions back to
back. No, appreciate you guys big time. All right. Well, for those that are listening, I hope you got value from this and it really added to your life to really go after your dreams, really chase after your dreams. And, you know, these men have brought some wisdom, and we all know that wisdom without application is not wisdom, but wisdom with application is true wisdom. So make sure that you apply some of these things that we talked about. And man, we're rooting for those that are listening. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for your passion and what brings you joy to ultimately make an impact, you know, in this world. And so, as I like to say at the end of every podcast, just remember, I want you to know God and let God be known. Bye, everybody. Hey, Samuel Teka here again. I don't mean to bother you, but I just wanted to quickly remind you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? Subscribe right now. And listen, if you're already subscribed and you want to be notified on when the videos come out, click the bell button on the top right-hand corner of the YouTube page. And listen, I'm also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you want to go check that out, check out the description down below. All right, guys, have a good day.